Good evening, this is writer Uttam, and today I read in the newspaper that a transgender woman is trying to uh, find a rented place in Andheri, and she is not able to get that rented place because of the prejudice which people have about transgender people in general. So even after paying a token amount, she is, refused entry into the flat, or even if she wants to live in a PG accommodation, she is denied, or even if there are a group of people living in a room, she cannot be made the next addition to that room as a flatmate. Now, all of this just because she's a transgender woman. Now, let me tell you something that the legally speaking, I think the government of India is doing its bit to uh, make sure that these transgender people are also included in the mainstream society. But there are many other things which we can also do to make sure that these transgender men or women are included in the mainstream society, and we handle them with kid gloves. One of the things which we can do is in secondary section we can introduce many stories which could have characters which are transgender men or women. They could be lesbians, gays, bisexuals, and intersex people. So what would happen is from a young age these children would be introduced to uh, these kind of people, some of them who practice alternate sexuality, or some of them whose mental thinking and their body are different for normal men and women. So once these things are included in a story, or we have these kind of characters, uh, students of the first 21st century would be familiar with these characters, and probably when they grow up and meet somebody like that, they would not be so prejudiced as to offend them, or probably not give them a job, or probably not speak to them in many other forms of discrimination which these people face. Also, one more very important thing which we need to understand is not to make fun of these characters, especially in mainstream Hindi commercial cinema. Of course, we don't get to see these things now, but in the past there has been a lot of damage already done where eunuchs and transgender people have been made fun of, because as such people do not have any knowledge about queer psychology or queer men and women. So what you show them on screen is the attitude they are going to imbibe from the screen. So it's very important that even when we show people who are queer, we show them in a positive light. We show them that they can be intelligent, they can be hardworking, they can be as normal as you and me, and they have every right to be a respectable part of society. They have every right to access to living where any other man and woman would normally live. So I hope if we include these things in society, maybe not very soon, but in future we will definitely see a society which is much more tolerant and respectful towards lesbian, gays, bisexuals, transgender, intersex people. And well, we say that there is unity in diversity. Yes, of course, India is a very brilliant example of unity, diversity. But then, of course, we also have these people who have not been accommodated very well in our mainstream society. So let's make this small effort so that even they gain a more understanding and respect, and we don't just treat them as non-humans. Thank you.